Listen, we got an exclusive right now. It's Christmas Day. Happy holidays to everybody worldwide. It's Christmas Day, 7:41 p.m. I just got the exclusive. Lee Robinson just told me that Hair Trigger delivered 6 males and 3 females. And we're going to do the pet breakdown. I'm going to have some videos on our scratch, okay? So, like I said, he got 6 males and 3 girls. Out of the 3 females, 2 are fawn and 1 is brindle. And out of the males, is 2 brindles and 4 fawns. So it looks like Scratch delivered his stuff on here because you know he's fawn. But Hair Trigger, 3 of the pups came out brindle. So for those who don't know, brindle is my favorite color, but Jaguar just happens to be fawn. Especially Scratch, he's even a lighter fawn. So let's get right into it. We're gonna start it off like this. So Scratch, and shout out to Lee Robinson, man. I say, yo, Lee, I want to do this video breakdown. He broke it down even more, so you can really see what's going on. So you got Scratch. Scratch is 53% pit bull, right? And Neapolitan Mastiff, he's 23%. English Mastiff, 18%. We're just going to round that off to 19, and then we're going to round the Tosa Inu up to 5%. So Scratch, for those who don't know, and I'm going to put the video in here, Scratch about Lee Robinson telling a story about how he was concussed.
He got knocked out when he was young. He hit his head on the concrete, and when he came to and he saw his opposition, he couldn't even stand up, and he was scratching back to go back into his opposition. It was an accident. You know what happened? We had pups in the kennel, and we were separating them, and I felt like Moses trying to part the Red Sea, but I didn't have God's help, so I just can't do it. You know, you're pushing them apart, grabbing them, and they're just going back together. And so we had to separate that litter right then and there. And I picked him up and washed the kennel out, and after a couple minutes, you know, he as soon as I pick him up, he's licking my face, being real friendly and whatnot, super friendly. I washed the kennel out, I put him back down on the ground. He goes right back in it. Now everything's wet, and so I was like, okay, that's not going to work. So I pick him up and I put him up on the doghouse for just a second, and I'm trying to separate some other ones. He slipped off the doghouse and hit his head.
Like I say, Scratch is Jaguar's grandfather on the bottom side, coming from LadySmith. So you got that Scratch blood right there. And Scratch is from the famous breeding Justice and Halo. And how ironic is it that Justice and Halo is both retired in the same year, 2024. So as we transition to 2025 next year, Lee is going through a transitional period on who's going to be those founding sires and dams to take American Sentinel to another 50, 60, 100, 200 years and beyond. Who is going to do that? So Lee has these different breedings, and I was like, man, being a breeder is so challenging. But so let's break it down. So you got Scratch, who's coming out of Justice and Halo. That's one of the most legendary breedings out there. And once again, I keep saying that Bumper, which is Jaguar's daddy, is from that same Justice and Halo's background. And if you look at Justice, when Lee, when he was starting off, he didn't have as much pit bull blood. He had it, but he had more Neapolitan Mastiff and English Mastiff in the blood, and a higher percentage of Tosa Inu back then. So when you see Justice, you know that Tiggy also has the same blood because they litter mates, and so is Valkyrie. So they was only 37.5% pit bull. So when you add Justice with Halo, she was a higher percentage because Justice and Halo is basically an uncle to niece breeding, because Halo is out of Valkyrie, which you see right here. It's the same blood as him because they basically 4 siblings. But Little Rascal, my favorite pit bull, and from Lee's yard, made Halo. And like I said, this is Halo's retirement. Her last breeding was with Hair Trigger's litter mate, which is Vicious. Rest in peace to Vicious. He had an accident with some hogs. Rest in peace, but he was able to have one litter before he transitioned to the afterlife. So you see on the top side, you got that Scratch blood, and we can go on about the Scratch scar. You got Justice and Halo. Justice is straight from Preacher Man. Preacher Man was 50-50. Preacher Man, his daddy was Sorrell's Captain Skip and English Master right here. So he's 50-50. Now check this out. Blue Jean. Blue Jean was mostly, she was only 25% pit bull, but she looked nice. So when you see a lot of those colors pop up where they got that blue color in a sense, that comes from that Neapolitan Mastiff blood. And sometimes it still come out or come out with that light fawn because you'll see the blue fawns pop up. That comes from that Neapolitan blood. And you also see like Jazz. Jazz has that kind of color like there too. So Blue Jean being 62.5% Neapolitan because of that pit bull. She had a high percentage of Tosa Inu. So you see that right there? And then, you know, that comes from the Neapolitan comes right straight from David Ishii. Maybe I'll get an interview with David Ishii for Midgard Masters right there. Okay? And then Halo, like I said, Little Rascal, my favorite pit bull, Valkyrie. And Valkyrie, once again, is the Preacher Man and Blue Jean breeding. So you see that coming down a lot. Preacher Man and Blue Jean, Preacher Man and Blue Jean, because this breeding is double justice. And the reason why it's double justice, because you see scratch on the top, and if you look on the bottom, Onyx's daddy is Justice. Onyx's daddy is Justice. So there you got it. You got the double justice blood coming in that usually keep that civil aggression nice and high. You're gonna have a nice pit bull percentage, 62.5%. 17%, 17.6 in Neo, 16.4 English Mastiff. Then you got that Tosa Inu blood. So these pups right here should have some high prey drive. And Lee told me her personality because she's very high. She's very high prey drive and real active. She's real active. She's super active. She got hops. She can jump real good, so she real super athletic. And yeah. And see, the thing about Lee has so many dogs, so it's like, whoa, you know what I mean? But he told me her personality is like that, and mixing with the scratch blood. And the reason why I think this is gonna pop off, because look, check this out. If you look at it, Onyx is like amazing. She's doing one more breeding. What Scratch and Onyx is actually, that's their last breeding. So hopefully she take, right? But if you look at Onyx, Onyx is the mother of Voodoo. Voodoo is becoming a great producer. Ryan already told me those Cobalt and Voodoo pups only a few weeks old and they already active. Also, Voodoo's last breeding with Fury is turning out phenomenal. I know 4 people that got their dogs and they very satisfied on that one. So Onyx is passing down those genes. So if everything works out, we don't know. Everything is speculation because genetics is wild. So you always got to keep your fingers crossed. If Hair Trigger is producing like her mom, this breeding will be similar to Scratch and Onyx. Of course, the pups will be a little smaller. I say females still can get up to 90 because Hair Trigger's around 82 pounds, but Onyx is a big girl. She like 90, 95 pounds. So the pups would probably be a little smaller, but you still can have a female. You never know. You still can have a female from 75 to 85 or to 90. But that's still to be honest with you, that's still an amazing weight. And then you're going to get, you're going to get some males from 85 to 100. And the thing that makes this a little different than straight Scratch to Onyx is the fact that you got that Lucky 7 blood in there. So with that Lucky 7 blood in it, that's that game bred pit bull. You know, so that's what we popping on right now with Hair Trigger. But I'm gonna put the videos and the clips for y'all so y'all can see for y'all stuff. Y'all see what it is. It's gonna be 63% pit bull basically, and the rest is Mastiff blood, Neapolitan, English Mastiff, and Tosa Inu. For those who are always wondering what's in Lee's dogs, Lee told y'all. Those are the 4 dogs that's in there. Tosa Inu, English Mastiff, Neapolitan Mastiff, and Pit Bull. And I must say, all working breeds. He wasn't just adding them in there just because they was a certain way. He worked them and made sure they had what it takes to be bred. So, Scratch and Hair Trigger, exclusive. Stay
Slip the
tuned
line.
on Christmas Day. 6 boys, 2 brindles, 4 fawns, 3 females, 1 brindle, 2 fawn females,
All right,
9
let her have it.
males. Make sure you holler at Lee Robinson. You can send him an email. I'm going to put his phone number on there, his email address on the screen, so you'll see scratch and hair trigger. And these, like I say, with this Onyx blood coming in, I'm thinking that these dogs right here, and they probably, for those who don't know, the scratch and Onyx was done several times, but the dogs come out real dog aggressive. And they be ready to work too. So they double. So when you got a dog that's severe dog aggression, that's another level of handling that is going to take you. So she producing like her mom, then these dogs is probably going to be dog aggressive, very dog aggressive, and some civil coming in from scratch. And then you got that prey drive coming in from scratch, Lucky 7, Halo, you know what I mean? And then so you got a nice combination right here. You're gonna have to jump on it. Yeah, so there you got it. Peace.